And we are live. Hello,
We
everyone.
are.
As usual, Dalton can take over the start.
Oh, I thought I just interrupted you and you're going to be mad at me.
Oh, you usually start, so just go ahead.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 13th episode of the UBports Community Update. We've got a great roundup of news today, including highlights and other things about OTA 2, some experiments that have been going on with Matrix, entirely on their side, not on ours, but they're cool enough that we want to talk about them, as well as other things in the project. And some questions.
Mm-hmm.
Maria Scriptsguard pinned. Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay. So we can start out with one of our biggest news. Well, it definitely is our biggest news. Let's start with that. That is OTA 2 is released. Yay!
Ooh! And there
Woo!
goes the notification sound.
Yes, that's also one of the things I will talk about on OTA 2. Because now I have fully switched away from Android to a OnePlus One running, of course, Ubuntu Touch. More on this later. I will also tell you why I totally switched. So let's first start with things in OTA 2 that I don't think we talked that much about. The first one I just got asked about today is the new camera on the OnePlus One. This is actually released, as you can see, there's two of me now. The camera on the OnePlus One is indeed working and is indeed on the stable branch. Um, Second, we also have a lot of other improvements and bug fixes that has gone in the OT release, like channel switching, which is one of one. We have the flashlight indicator, which I can show you here too. The flashlight indicator, where you can just drag down and you have access to flashlight there, and you can of course turn it on, and it gets really bright. Adjust brightness on the OnePlus One is fixed. We also have a lot of other improvements, like for example, when you switch back to the camera app on a Fairphone, it doesn't crash. We have also the other day. This is outside of OTA 2, but we fixed Blueborn, which was the ugly Bluetooth bug that was in the Linux kernel. It's now also fixed. That's not in the OT2. As said, that will come in OTA 3. It's not a huge issue for our devices. It's more targeting. I would say running Android is a lot bigger issue. Mostly because that's a bigger target and a bigger user base. So someone targeting Bluebone will definitely target Android before they even think about Ubuntu Touch. Uh, and also because the architecture is quite different from Android, so they can't use the same Android code as they do to hack Ubuntu Touch and all that. But as I say, that's fixed. That is the fix is on Devil now. We also will push that soon to RC as we get the ball rolling and get our schedule in place. We also talked about having an automatic push to RC every week. And if there's a blocker, we will have a blocker tag on GitHub that will stop the automatic promotion to RCs. So we make sure we don't break any devices or go have any regression. So that's why we have these blocker tags, and we call the, the RC will always be one version behind the newest Devil. That way, we are sure that it's tested by someone on Devil before it lands on RC. So if you are not brave enough to go to the Devil one, you can use RC. But if you want a really rock stable device, you would just stay on Devil. But no, on stable. That's the rock stable we have right now. Um, but also, as I said earlier, we have the channel switching. So switching between channels now are pretty simple. So anything you want to add to this? Any of you guys want to add to OTA 2?
No, but I do want to add that we are completely out of order. We forgot to introduce everyone.
Oh.
And seeing as how both of you are signed in as UBports rather than yourselves, that is kind of
Uh,
important.
yeah.
So my name is Dalton, and I'm here with Marius
Hey.
and UBports.
Hello.
Would you like to introduce yourself, other UBports?
Well, now I'm known on Telegram as Phoenix Land Pirate. I don't know.
Good enough.
That's yeah. Good. She's a pirate. That's all I can say. We are a pirate. Okay. The spirit of having a fun Q&A is alive. We always have these fun Q&As, and I think this is the type of content we like to have here. To have it a bit more out. Okay.
Are you okay there, Marios? Grips Edition 1.4 gigabytes floppy disk.
What? Let's continue. Okay, continue. Okay, so we have OTA 2 out of the way. Also, if anyone have questions, this is a total mess. We are completely out of order, but that's fine. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments down there, or in the Telegram group, UBports super group, or the other non-super group Telegram group. So let's continue. We talked about OTA 2. We'll move on to a new experiment, which has been going on, not inside UBports, but they are cool enough that we will mention them anyway. So Dalton, take it away.
What?
Talk about Matrix experiment.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was watching the Telegram groups because something was happening. So, Matthew, one of the developers from Matrix, ended up in the IRC bridge to Telegram via the IRC bridge from Matrix, which is... And he wanted to talk a little bit about what he'd been doing with Qt on Ubuntu Touch. And he's been working on this for about a week now. It started out as just kind of random ramblings about not being able to use the on-screen keyboard that I didn't really understand. And then continued on to he released a full build instructions for Ubuntu, for the Ubuntu UI toolkit built with Qt 5.9, which is the newest edition, and then taking that and running the newest Enhico, I don't know how to pronounce that client, Matrix client on Ubuntu Touch. So he ran a full desktop app on Ubuntu Touch just by building and installing a couple of packages. This needs some further testing, but it is an interesting development that we can have everything built with Qt 5.9 and it just kind of runs. We don't know if regular Ubuntu apps work yet on it, which is always a problem. But
yeah, but I also think we'll add to this. I don't think this is anything that will happen on Vivid. I think this is something we will wait for Signal to be implemented. But of course, if you see that if it's easy to do and all the other existing apps run perfectly fine, then maybe. Right now, we are still a bit unsure on how things work. It needs to, as Dalton said, be heavily tested and at least make sure that our current app works as they should. I think that's the most important part of this.
right. And it can be expected that apps would need to be rebuilt. But the reason we'd want to go to Qt 5.9, Qt or Qt, whichever way I say it is wrong, the reason we would do that is for performance improvements. It still has security updates and support for the next part of a year. I think they're only support for a year. Shows how informed I am about this. But those performance improvements being closer to upstream projects like KDE and Unit itself right now, which is running on 5.9, will all be helpful to us being able to offload a little bit of our work maintaining the Ubuntu UI toolkit.
Sounds good.
I just wanted to mention how cool that this is, that the people from Matrix are working on both UBports, seeing how Qt 5.9 works on it, and that they're putting some effort into making a Matrix client with us. On the blog post, it says that it's basically practice and for the Purism Librem 5 phone with the Pure OS. But they've also mentioned on I don't know if it was the UBports or the UMatrix Matrix.
They did mention UMatrix, yep, as well.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, on there, they meant on one of these chats, they mentioned that even when they're making the Pure OS Matrix application, that they do want to make it as portable as possible, so it should be able to work on Ubuntu and Plasma without much effort from having to keep messing about with it to make it work.
And assuming we do use one of those newer Qt libraries, then that would totally be possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one app to rule them all could be a future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one app to rule them all. That's the Linux spirit, isn't it?
No. No.
One package manager to rule them all. Let's make a new one, and then we have 101 instead of 100. That's that's the typical Linux spirit. But yeah,
the opposite of Halium.
Yeah, well, not yeah, the opposite of Halia. Halia is doing a great job right now. I think we are. If you do some same stuff that Halium did with the app layer or the apps, that would be interesting and fun to experiment with, because that would also probably work. The goal is to make it across and just compile it, and then compile it for ARM and AMD 64, and then it will work on desktop, mobile, tablet, whatever, and servers even. And I think that's the goal of it. I think that's where KDE is going with this also. We have one single app that just works on everything and just scales up. Yeah, and I think Ubuntu has done a great job on this. But I missed that little thing of um, let's make it available for someone else. I think that's what we also, if we make something, we also need to make it available for someone else, or we use something that someone else already makes, so we don't reinvent the wheel or the the spinny thing again.
Well, that's going to be quoted now.
Oh no!
So we don't reinvent the spinny thing.
Yeah. So we don't reinvent the wheel. Yeah, the goddamn thing that spins around on the car. How do you say view? No, view.
You said it right. It's a wheel.
Wheel. Yeah, you Americans are wrong.
Wow.
You American is wrong. Okay, so let's roll ourselves into back to the topic and roll back to Halium at this point. How is Halium going? Question mark. So Halium is going great, I would say. There is a lot of new ports coming along. The only thing that we are missing is our UBports rootfs. I've been working on this after ODI2 to get a UBports rootfs that you just can slap on Halium and it should just work. I got to that point where I have both Mir compiled for CUF for Android 5 and Android 6. No, Android 5.1 and Android 7.1, and on Xenial and on Vivid. So can run on everything, and that's Halium related. And the goal is the only thing I'm missing is the placement of the system, Android system partition or Android system image. Android system rootfs is correct way to say it. That's only missing to get the placement in right, because Halium places it in a different place than Ubuntu that we do right now. So I need to move that. And when that's done, um, I will move things over and get everything compiled into our nice rootfs where you can download and slap on top of Halium and can go ready to rock with UBports. I think this is a thing that I know many people have been waiting about. Even Dalton have been waiting on this.
Yeah, where's that project around here? I'll find it.
Yeah, speaking about project, this is my first target, which is a OnePlus 3. I also had a OnePlus 5, uh, but the reason why I target OnePlus 3 first is because that's has a more stable Lineage OS port right now. The OnePlus 5 is coming shortly after, but this one is the first target since there's more people having this than the OnePlus 5. That's also a thing. This is OnePlus 3. So it seems like the OnePlus One and OnePlus 3 are the two most popular OnePlus phones. Seems like everyone skips the one in between, like OnePlus 2 wasn't that popular. OnePlus 5 wasn't because they have
The
the phone for
3T
2 years.
came before the 5.
Right, yeah. But the 3T and the 3 is mostly the same. It's just they run the same blobs, as far as I know, and the same kernel. Um,
So it was just a little upgrade.
yeah, it's a different screen. And different colors. I think that's it.
Different colors.
Yeah,
Upgrade.
upgrade. I think
There
that
was
was
more
the
RAM,
difference.
wasn't there? There was slightly more RAM.
Yeah, well, they just
From 6
don't
gigabytes to 8 gigabytes, wasn't it?
something like that. They probably just download more RAM anyway, so it's not a huge deal. Well, but but 8 gigs of RAM would definitely rock on a Ubuntu Touch phone. I think Android can't really use that much RAM. But if we get desktop apps and everything on it, we can slap everything into the RAM and make everything work just nice. Uh,
Can't wait to
and
use Blender on my phone.
did you find your project, Dalton?
I did. Here it is. Can you guess what it is?
It's a phone. Congratulations. I guess I guessed correctly there. Speaking
You
about
are
phones,
correct. That is a phone.
yeah, I know my stuff. Uh, Speaking about RootFS, and speaking about know my stuff, Xenial, how's that coming? Xenial is coming slowly, I would say. OTA 2 have been both OTA 2 and getting the infrastructure up in place have been my most priority before OTA 2 was released. But after now, I do have more time to work on other stuff than just bug fixes and the infrastructure itself. So I will get more time to work on Xenial and also get more documentations and more documentation and even more documentation out on how other people can actually help making this happen. I think that's one of the things we are lacking pretty badly is documentation on how to do stuff, how to do anything really. So get that in place, Dalton. Get in place. And I will write some more stuff on everything else. Build how to build stuff. Um, Anything more you guys want to add to that?
Wow, we flew through all of that.
Yeah.
Woo.
Bye. Yeah, I usually don't have that much time afterwards, so that's why I'm flying to it like a bird.
You don't have that much time afterwards?
I
Gotta go
must.
back out on your boat?
No, I have time. I have time.
Whose boat was that?
Yeah, I was out on a boat like I think it was just
It was 30 minutes before we went live. 45 minutes before we went live, Marius sends a picture that says, "I'm getting supper," and it's a picture of him in the middle of a lake on a boat. It's like,
it's not. Yeah, well, yeah, but I've been done quite a lot today. I have been renovating my toilet, and then I went to fishing, and now I'm doing this, and then I fixed the Fairphone, the new Fairphone Blue screen bug, and also working on camera. So I have a lot of my sleeve doing at the same time. But yeah,
whew.
it's good. I never sleep, so and Dalton can confirm this.
I can.
Uh,
I keep on calling you, and then you're like, "Oh, I was going to sleep. Leave me alone."
And then
well,
4 hours later, you see still online.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, my brain is running Linux. I can't go to hibernate
Suspend
because
isn't working.
suspend doesn't work, and I don't want to turn myself off just yet.
Oh, I saw my
Okay,
chance and took it. I'm sorry.
okay. Questions. Bring the questions in. I will take the questions that we already have here. Uh, can full disk encryption happen? This is a yes or no answer.
Okay.
Right now, technically, yes, you can do it with terminal commands. Yes, you can. You can encrypt your home folder, or not a home folder, but the home partition, because the partition system on Ubuntu Touch is a bit different than normal desktop. So you can encryption with some command. Yes, you can do it. Is it user friendly? Not at all. It's a mess. Don't do it. Uh, but no, you can't do it in a nice user interface just yet. We do have plans to implement this because this is a thing that I personally would absolutely love. Because if I lose my phone now, my phone is more open than a can of Monster after I drinking it. So definitely, this is something we need. We don't have right now. We don't have. Well, we do have kind of security, but we have the same security as an open Android phone, to say it at least. So we definitely need that encryption, but that's coming later. It's no real plans on it yet, but definitely that's something that will be added. Um, Anything you guys want to add to that?
Speaking of Monster, how much have you drank today?
Uh, just one.
You are
Sure.
flying. Are you sure?
Well, well, yeah, ocean. The ocean that has a lot of salt in it, and that's if you get that on your skin, you wake up.
Is that scientifically proven?
Yeah, by me.
Okay.
Okay, anything you guys want to add to the disk encryption before I move on?
No,
No.
but we do have live questions in the live chat.
Go ahead, though.
Okay. All right. So one, how can one contribute to graphics and user experience design? So everyone wanted to answer that one at once. I heard that.
Dalton, go first.
Okay. So you should definitely get a hold of us in Telegram, say exactly what you're looking to improve, because we love when people come in and they're like, hey, this would be better if it was done this way. And a lot of people have done that and they show us screenshots and we think, yep, that's better. And then we can tell you how to fix it from there. Otherwise, we have our Get Involved page on UBports.com, which let me look at. I believe there's someone to contact for user experience design. In the meantime, someone else can talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on this part, it also depends what you want to do. If you, for example, want to edit the icons, for example, that would mostly be done in our GitHub repositories, which is not unusual, a friendly way for a designer. I know that, so we definitely need to find a better way for a designer to contribute. But also, for example, like backgrounds and also the overall design. I think that's can also mostly be discussed in a Telegram chat. Also send us some. For example, we use issues. If you start a new issue with your design ideas and your mockups, for example, I think that's also a great way to start a conversation, and also to make a developer actually see your ideas, and for the developer to implement what you made on paper. So definitely GitHub issues is one of those, and also just in supergroup, and also contact us, talk about it, and also we need someone to lead that side of UBports.
Yep, and I did just see that there's no one listed for that team yet. We do need someone who wants to help with graphics and user experience design. If you'd like to lead a team doing that, we'd love to have you.
we do have some teams open that we need to fill, and one of those are graphic design and quality assurance. I think those are the two that we are missing to have someone lead. We did notice that on when we released OTA 2 that we do need someone on the on the quality insurance because mostly of the quality insurance was done by us and also asking people. But we need someone to handle to do that. If someone have the experience in quality assurance or want to do this, that please also get in contact with us.
Right. And we do already have a test plan in place for functionality that we deem as our responsibility, which is most of it except for what apps add, including many of the core apps. So if you'd like to see that, it is on the last blog post we had before OTA 2. That was about testing OTA 2. So you can find it there if you want to go over it. But if you'd like to lead the team, or get more into a leadership position of some sort there, Jan has been working on that a lot. He's Neo the Third on Telegram.
Yeah.
And he currently has no internet. That's why he isn't here.
Yeah, he's moving. So okay, so also to just go cover pretty fast on who's of the other teams on development and infra. It's me, Ricardo, Nils, Pete, and um, Neos also have on that side. On translation, we have Flo. He is also on development. Flo, I think he's the one responsible for that one. On marketing, we have Dalton, Mohannes, Vane, and what do we have there?
Oh,
I
we have a
think
lot of
those
people
are
there.
yeah, but in responsibility.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think those are the ones. The two, as I said, two missing is graphical and quality assurance to have someone in the lead there, and also to be a contact person because on graphic, for example, I have no clue of graphic design. Uh, Most things I do in GIMP, which is beautiful. If you if you
Microsoft Paint running on Wine on Linux.
yeah, something like that. If you look at it, if you look at the right way, and also if you stand like 4 meters away from your screen, maybe you can think it's fine. But if you look at it close, you can take an example on my and the U ad blocker, the first icon there.
Oh yeah, the first icon for UAD block,
That was really
which is a
good.
really great app for Ubuntu Touch that blocks ads using the host file.
Hmm.
It started with a red block box with Comic Sans U.
But to be honest, I made it in 2 seconds. It was 4 in the morning, and I have to make something right to push it out. And I just like, yeah, just make this, push it out, and then later,
And it
Paul
was a
and
U. That did happen.
yeah, well, well, it's better to have a functional app than a functional icon. So also,
Anyway,
if you like
back on our topic.
if you like ads to be blocked, there is an app on UApp Explorer that you can actually download. It's called the UApp on open store. It's called UAd Blocker. It's made by a great person called Mario Scriptscott.
Is he great?
Self promotion out of the way.
All right, we're just going to write that down on your quota sheet for the week.
Okay.
Anyway, back to our
Next
topic.
question, Dalton.
No, we got to finish that one up. If
Uh,
you want to get a hold of any team leads or anything like that, or see where we need help, we have the Get Involved page on UBports.com. It's found in the header nav bar.
Mhm.
That's a nav bar. Oh, and we do have a couple of comments on our discussion about UI UX design. Someone named Sam Hewitt is continuing the work of Suru. We're actually a patron for him, are we not?
Yep.
So, yep, we know he's doing Suru. Thank you.
Supporting him in his work. So we are looking forward for updates for Fusuru. If Sam is watching it, we do love and appreciate you.
Yes. We appreciate all of our community members and
Yes,
those who are outside.
we appreciate everyone in our Telegram group.
Even me.
Even her.
Well,
Him.
well,
Her.
well.
Even all of
Depends.
you. And that person in particular.
Next question, Dalton.
Okay, fine. There's another one in the live chat. Where can I find the repository where UI elements are stored? I'm interested in creating a dark theme. UI toolkit?
UI toolkit. Yep.
Okay.
I think
So
that's the
that
one.
is github.com/UBports/waiting for it to load.
/ Ubuntu UI toolkit.
Ubuntu-UI-toolkit.
Toolkit.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. Next question.
Okay, back to the forum.
We have some questions in our YouTube live chat. I don't know if you have been following that.
That's exactly where I've gotten them.
Oh. Oh.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Okay, next question.
I don't know anymore.
I will take the next question. Okay. Question about the Librem 5.
Many questions about the Librem 5.
Many
We're getting them
questions.
all the time.
We are getting them all the time. Questions about the Librem 5 is I think we answered what we can on our last Q&A. And we also I think we can say it this way. We are looking into it and we definitely want to support this device if it comes out. But it seems like I think they haven't reached the goal yet, and I think they only have like 20 days left. So
Trajectory's looking good.
Yeah, how close are they to succeeding?
Are you gonna make me load another page, huh?
yeah, so I think I really hope they succeed. But I also backed it because I really want to see this come out and I can hold it in my hand. But right now, I think I think it's not going to reach it as far as last time I checked.
The trajectory
It's
is good actually now. It is
Is
up.
it?
Yeah. From the last time you've looked.
36%, right? Am I getting the wrong page?
They're at 58%. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're on a good path.
23 days, like 3 days to go with 58%. Okay.
I don't remember when they started, so I don't
Fingers
know.
crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, fingers crossed. People, go, go, go! Support, support, support. But I think they was lasting for 60 days, and they only had 30 days left with 60%. Ooh, it's gonna be tight. But I really, really everyone cross their fingers for this to work because a pure Linux phone. Wow, we want that.
Get UBports on that. Get Matrix installed on that. You're gonna have a great converged time.
Converge time.
Converged time.
Converge time.
How do you do that? May I ask?
That should be a brand name for something, but I don't know what yet. We'll keep that one in the back pocket, huh?
Yeah,
Converged time.
Converge time. Okay, so as I said, we are looking for the phone, but nothing is clear yet. And if it succeed, we definitely would want to have UBports on this. That's no saying. If there is possible, of course, because there still is unsure on how the phone would work. We need something. We need our. I think if they make it as described, where it works at a normal desktop, it should be pretty simple to get it working on it. Because then I would just use the default Unity 8 Mesa library, and I think that would work fine. But I don't know what trickery they have up their sleeve because it's not easy to make a phone that's not on Android because I don't think there's no manufacturer making phones except making them from Android or maybe iOS and Windows. But both Microsoft and Apple have enough money to develop their own phone. But I think it will be hard, but I'm really excited to see how it turns out. And yes, we will definitely want to have UBports on this when this come reality.
Right. And one more specific question we're getting is if we've contacted them since they did tweet at us. And yeah, but it wasn't that long ago, so I don't think they've gotten back to us yet.
Uh, we did talk about it yesterday, so we have in contact. I think the contact maybe be sent today, or
Okay.
or
Yeah.
it was sent on Friday. So hopefully they will get back to us. Uh, so yeah. Uh, Next question.
Um, have you considered an OTA that is bug fix only, like 2.1? We have.
Hmm.
However, we then figured that would cause problems in the future. Because if we make one that fixes bug X now, then someone's going to say, well, bug Y is important enough to make another fix, isn't it? And then we basically have a rolling release model.
Yeah, it will say it like this. It depends on the bug. If there is a really bad bug, of course we
Like,
will
my
do
phone
this.
doesn't boot. Like,
Yeah,
everyone's phone doesn't boot.
yeah, we will definitely have a hot fix within hours. But as it seems like now, everything is working really well on these phones, and people are saying that things are working really well. The only exception I would say is on the Fairphone, the blue screen bug. It's an ugly one, and we have the one where the blue screen is fixed, and also they fixed the one where you can't open the keyboard on when the app opens a different
Yep.
window. This is also now fixed. So these are the one that would be under conversation if we want to release a hot fix. But right now, I don't think we will. But it's still up for discussion. If there is a really hard bug coming up, I mean, if people really complain about something, we would definitely uh,
We
but that
consider it.
consider it. But that's also why RC and Devil is there. RC is mostly for new stuff but stable stuff at the same time. So that's what we want to get RC rolling pretty fast on every week. So yeah,
Yep, that every week automatic change that we've discussed in a previous video.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Do we
So
have?
we have considered an OTA 2.1, but we're not going to make one for the reasons that we've stated.
Yeah, we also want to get in a more strict schedule for OTA released, so we can get a more where we can get more on time on releases, where we can actually release it, set the date, and release on that date. Where we can get a more structure in, because OTA 2 was, I would say OTA 2 was our first release, because OTA 1 was just taking what Canonical has and modify it slightly and put it out there. But OTA 2 is our first real release, and I think it went really well. There was some setbacks that we had, for example, the browser, which was one of the biggest one. But in the end, I think that we handle it really well. But we want to get this perfect. We want the release schedule to be absolutely perfect. And that's what we're hoping for OTA 3, to get that in place, where we will have a set date and release on that set date. Uh, yeah. Uh, More questions. I see one that I will take real quick here. On Patreon is now 1999 USD, which is $1 away from $2,000.
And
And
what does $2,000 do, Marius?
$2,000 give us a new ARM server, which we are looking really forward to, because we definitely need this ARM server. And with this ARM server, we can get building a lot faster. We can get pull requests built and tested. We can make it available so people can push to a branch and get out, and the build server spit out a dev file which they can test. We can do the same with click packages, where the click packages be automatically uploaded to the open store. We can also build click packages on a pull request so people can test it without needing to build them themselves. We can also make people make changes instead of building on their own hardware if they don't have the hardware to actually do, but they want to do contribute to UBports. They can leverage our server using GitHub, push to a GitHub repo, and the build server automatically spits out a deb or a click package to you that you can test out, or if it spits out an error, segment fault, or whatever. Uh, but segment,
Everything seg faults.
but that depends on the developer. This is also a quote, if you can remember, for I
From
think this
last
was
week.
from last week. Yeah,
It was
everything.
a burn on Dalton because on project phone number 1, everything seg faults.
Yeah, and I said that depends on the developer. Burn. I wasn't necessarily said that. I when I said it, I didn't think it was mean, but afterwards I was like, that was actually pretty
That was
mean.
mean.
That was mean. But that happens when you talk as fast as me. My mouth never shut up. So that's the thing. And also, it's getting dark here. Can you notice? Can you see me anymore?
Yes. Yes. So anyway, back to the build server. A really big reason for wanting that is Oxide,
Yes, Oxide.
the
Jesus.
browser engine on Ubuntu Touch. Marius, how long does it take you to build that on your giant monster machine of a laptop?
If if I cross compile, not in a rootfs, it takes 2.5 hours on an
Yep.
i7, i7K, i7
Quad
something K.
quad core desktop i7. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
using
pretty
all
bad.
the core on 100%, it takes 2.5 hours, and building them on the PPA system takes 12 hours. 12 hours.
All right. So having that server will mean that we get the native builds, which are faster than cross compiling anyway.
Yeah.
Plus, it's got all the cores you would ever want. And Oxide is basically just Chromium, but adapted for Ubuntu Touch.
Hmm.
So
It's
Google got the
extremely
build service right, at least.
well. Yeah, Google probably got their own servers. But definitely when we get this, we can definitely get a faster build, and faster build with means faster development time. And also, as I said, we can also use this to build pull requests. Yes, and since the one that we are aiming for, it will be really beefy, which we can build for if, for example, you want to make a change to Oxide, but you don't want to use 2.5 hours to build it, you can leverage our build servers to actually make your changes,
And that's
which is
assuming
pretty
you've
awesome.
bought a desktop i7, by the way.
Yeah, that's assuming you have an i7 or higher. Uh, I would imagine how this would work on a Pentium. Oh God.
We actually had a developer who built the Android system on his Pentium, no, his Celeron laptop for a while. I don't know how he did it.
Well, I think our Android builds, those are actually pretty small compared to normal Android.
They are, but
They are big.
still.
They're
I
big.
had this guy back here, the FX 6300, still took 30 minutes to build with Ccache, so it
I, I
not
I think I'm
anyway.
rocking 20 minutes Android, and I think the build service rocking the normal the CI that we have now, which is also a really beefy server, which is a 12 core Xeon something that builds Android in 7 minutes, and that can't even handle Oxide. So definitely native build servers, a native ARM build servers would be absolutely amazing.
So if someone wants to go to Patreon and put in $2 because of the small it's weird how Patreon displays, but if you put in $1, I don't think it would actually say $1, or it'd actually go to 2,000 on Patreon right now.
Yeah, it Patreon, what it shows your users is is after tax and
After all the
pa-
fees. Yeah.
Patreon's shady cut, which is
Yeah,
actually good.
shady, right? It's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's better than most other. Uh, so so yeah, we are really close.
Anyway, back to Ubuntu Touch.
Back to Ubuntu
Um,
Touch. Do we have more
live chat?
questions?
We
Have a
have lots in the live chat. Do you want to listen?
wanna listen? Yeah,
All right.
I will listen.
Sweet. That wasn't an insult. That
That
wasn't an
was
insult. That was not an insult. I'm sorry.
it's
Will you?
almost just a hint to just Dalton saying in the polite way. Dalton just say, "Be quiet."
No, that would be
Go
hold
ahead.
that thought.
Okay, I will hold it.
Will you remove the Ubuntu store in OTA 3? Do we know when the Ubuntu store is
No,
going down yet?
it's going down after this year.
Oh, okay. Have
So
you been given the date?
not the date. They say after this year. So
Okay.
I think the plan was to remove it after this year anyway, to make sure we don't one day just get the surprise. Oh, it's done, and we don't know what will happen on the phone. I think the phone will handle it fine. I don't think anything would crash. Hopefully not.
That'd be
Uh,
We should
cool,
probably
yeah.
test that one.
well, I think it's tested pretty well. I think
Hmm.
it's the same as you don't have network. I would assume. But yeah, definitely we need to test that. But I think this is something we need to remove after this year anyway. And they said after this year, so I don't know how quick they will be. I do expect it to be pretty quick. But yeah, but most of the apps, most of the popular apps have been moved over. I don't think there is any of the main apps that's not been moved over. There's a lot of web apps that we don't have. But if you have a web app that you're missing, download Web App Creator on the Open Store, and you can make your own web app
Right on the phone, even.
right on a phone. Yeah, you
You
don't
never
even
need
need
to
to
leave it.
you don't need to leave it. You can even do it in the middle of the ocean
On a boat.
on a boat while you're fishing. You can make a app. You can even download on the road and actually make a QML app, which is which is insanity in itself. But on on a tablet it works really fine. But on my phone, it will take a while to make an app. But yes. Do we have more questions?
We do have more questions.
And also, shout out to Jan. We need you because this is we need you. This have you make this a controlled environment. I think without you, we are a complete mess.
Wow. Thanks.
Yeah, what are you trying to say about me and that one?
Well, I was including myself in that sentence, but yeah. Next question. Can Nexus 5 converge be used as a daily driver? Depends on the use case. If you just watch cat videos on YouTube, yes, it can. But if you do some development, which you do locally, I don't think it can handle that. It can handle small build task, but what you can do is use SSH, which actually I have done with my Nexus 5. SSH into a server and use the server to build stuff, which works really nice. And now that the browser is fixed, you can even put on some music. You can use Qtify, I think it's called, which is a Spotify client for Ubuntu Touch. Play music and do some things. Browse YouTube, browse Reddit. You can actually do this pretty fine with the Nexus 5. We did this in Ubicon in Purvis. So if you were there, you could see the setup. It still is a bit funky and a bit rough around the edges, so you do need some patience to actually get this going. It's not as smooth as we will have it. We will work against making this plug and play experience, and this is the thing that we are working against. We have now been working on OTA 2. We have been focusing on the phone exit. aspect of the phone, which now the phone is, I would say, I've been using it as a daily driver for a week now. I did use Ubuntu Touch before, but I use it on my BQ E5 way back when that come out. I did use this as a daily driver, and back then it was not ready. But now I actually can say you can use it as a daily driver. I use it on my OnePlus One, work flawlessly. But as a Converge, I think that's a bit unstable at this moment. You can definitely use it to basic task, more heavy task, not yet.
Excellent. So yes, if you don't want to replace your desktop, to put it another way.
Yep.
There was one more I saw in here. Oh, when will you start introducing design changes to the dash? Not until 1604.
No, probably not. But that also goes with saying, if anyone wants to contribute to this area, have some design changes, please let us know. We would love to see what you come up with. And if someone actually do the work, we can also make it an option in Vivid. But probably the core team probably won't focus on this until Senior comes along.
Right.
Since
Senior's being worked on for the OnePlus, not OnePlus, the Nexus 5 and the OnePlus 3 mainly at the moment, right?
it's mainly on the OnePlus. No, it's mainly on the Nexus 5 and Nexus 5 X, which are the two targets. OnePlus 3 is the one I use as my side project outside of UBports, which is
still inside of UBports, but we won't talk about that one.
yeah, it's like, but the main
It's a hobby that's the same thing that's your job. Yeah.
Yeah,
that-
it's a good hobby.
that's interesting. I don't. It's interesting to have your job as your hobby. Actually, it's really fun because you when you never done in the day, you just move over to a different project or just continue. So
And that's something called burnout. What?
well, I absolutely love it. I want to. If I didn't have this as a job, I would do it anyway. So it it really is. But for me to have my full brain power on this project is absolutely amazing. And as you can see on the OTA 2, I think you can realize how much I actually get done with having this as a main project. Even I on OTA 2, I made everything ready for OTA 2, but also building the full infrastructure. And this is thanks to the Patreons. This is solely the Patreons. Uh, Thanks go to
And
that
the
because
community. You're not the only developer here.
no, yeah, I'm a, I
I'm
was
sorry,
talking
I'm just
about
cutting you down while you're in a monologue.
Yeah.
I'm mostly talking about the stuff that that makes me able to be hired as a full time, and that's the Patreons. That's
That
all the
is.
Patreons. Yeah, but of course the community has done an amazing job on this, and we all together have done this. That's not what I'm saying. I just think for me to be hired is Patreons, totally Patreons. But thanks to Patreon. You totally cut me off there. I was middle of a monologue, but I get why you cut me off because I. But yeah, thanks everyone, and especially thanks to the Patreons for making this a possibility. It's amazing. It's totally
And the
amazing that
donors via
is.
other methods as well,
What?
whether that Bitcoin or PayPal.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
donors via other methods.
yeah. Of course, of course. But those doesn't go to me though. To say that. The thing that I'm hired for is only the thing that I get from Patreon. The other goes to the project. That's
Thanks if you spend money which directly goes to Marius. Thanks. If you put money into UBports in general, then never mind. It's basically what I'm getting from you, Marius.
I'm just saying that I'm I'm okay.
We are undermining a developer on stream.
Okay, Dalton, explain what I wanted to explain because I'm totally set off now. My English is not good, as you probably got that you guys know.
Thank you everyone who contributes to UBports projects via code, design, or monetary value. Everything that you're putting in is making Ubuntu Touch better, whether directly to Marius, directly to the project or indirectly.
Okay.
No, not all
You
the money
guys,
goes to Marius.
but to say it at least, m most of the money, I only get what I said I would take is $1,000 a month. That's the only thing that I take, which is actually really low. But I absolutely love this project, and I even give that money back to the project because I absolutely love this and I really want this to succeed. And I hope that shows. And yeah, I also thank you guys for roasting me live on screen.
It's okay.
Not
This is
roasting.
only
Yeah.
public on
You're
YouTube.
welcome.
Yeah, it's only public to the whole world. Yeah, just no biggie. Okay.
Unless we get a copyright claim.
Well, copyright for what? For my.
Well,
I don't know. It's YouTube, man.
Well, they
Dawson,
can't.
stop singing.
Yeah, they can't. Well, probably some of the only System 76 can copyright this logo. That's the only thing, but I don't think they would. Or the manufacturer of this wallpaper, probably maybe. But
What if UBports gives us a copyright claim for using these?
You can
UBports
actually copyright claim your own videos.
Well, that's dumb.
People have done that. Anyway,
Oh,
Ubuntu
yeah.
Touch.
Ubuntu Touch. Do we have more questions, or we wrap it up? We are on the
Ubuntu.
hour. A bun too. Wayne, I know you're out there. A bun too.
We do have a question about Snappy. What about Snappy? Or basically, when are we going to be switching to Snappy? Or are we going to be switching to snaps? How are snaps happening?
First of all, they're not called Snappy anymore. They're called snaps. Second of all, that is coming with Senior. There's already support for Snap in Senior already. Canonical had done all of the work there. We only need to make apps for it. So yes, snaps are coming in Senior, not in Vivid.
The question is, stores, will the store support, open store support snaps and clicks?
I'm pretty sure it already does.
Yeah,
Does
it
it?
already do have support for Snap.
Okay.
But I don't think I think there's only 1 or 2 snaps in there, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you can make your own snap stores. That was part of the design stuff.
Okay, we have 1 snap, which is clickable.
Okay. That makes sense.
So people, get out there and push snaps to the open store. Okay. Okay. Let's wrap this up. I think this has been both a fun and messy idea. Not idea, but messy live stream.
Execution.
This is both a very good and very, very bad idea.
Not idea.
Thank you,
but
everyone, for coming out today. You can get a hold of us on many different social media networks. We have a Telegram. You should actually get a hold of us that way because we live in Telegram. But we also have Matrix. We have Mastodon, Twitter, Google+. I'm missing some as I do every week. But they're all posted in the description. If not already, they will be soon after we're live. Other than that, thank you to all of our patrons who make this possible for us to be here every week. And we will see you in a couple of weeks.
In the next one.
We're sorry.
And also, don't forget to slap that like button.